So November 2020 came along. I was really kind of reflecting on everything that had happened that year, and I kept thinking about how these different songs and these different musicians, they really helped me get through these hard times. It got me to thinking back about how big of an impact music has had on my life, all of my life, and how these different songs and these different musicians had really kept me alive through the years in so many different ways. I was coming up on my 30th birthday, and I was thinking, this first 30 years, it's been a trip. I've been through a lot in these first 30 years, and I was trying to kind of figure out, what do I want to see for my next 30 years. And I kept going back to the thought about how important music has been in getting me through all of my hardships. And I thought about, I really wish that I could do something with music that would help someone else as much as it's helped me. And so on my 30th birthday, I went out and I bought a keyboard. And I decided, I'm going to start to learn how to play piano and just see what I can do with music. So I got this keyboard and I start trying to play, and I'm trying to learn, and I'm realizing I don't know the first thing about music at all whatsoever. I'm like dumber than a kindergartner here. And it's because I had always been so strictly forbidden from doing anything with music that I didn't have the slightest even foundational education around it. So, there've been a few times that I've tried taking lessons, or I've tried watching online tutorials. It seems like every time I do, I get this horrible headache. I realize that it's because every time I try to do music myself, every time I try to sing, or every time I try to play piano, I still have my dad in my head. I still have him in there, and every time I start to play, or every time I start to sing, I hear him saying, "You're pathetic, you're ridiculous, you're stupid, I hate you, you'll never be any good at this. Why are you even trying?" I hear all that in my head every time I start to try, and it gives me a terrible headache, and I end up quitting because just because I have such a bad headache. And so this is where I get to the kind of a plot twist in my story.